Hi guys, how are you? I'm Robin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to this new video. Now, I have got Spencer back in Man From Self HQ to talk more about hair loss. And I know from the first two videos that we did, the first one being if you're the right candidate for a hair transplant, and the second one being about hair transplant clinics, that so many guys find it really useful. I mean, I found it fascinating. So I wanted to get you back in for this one. Firstly, for anyone that's just sort of catching up with this and also meeting you, tell us a bit about you and your experience with hair transplants.
Well, I've been the recipient of 13 hair transplants over the last kind of 20 years. I started out very young and had a number of different procedures, and then unfortunately had to get repaired. So that's led me to have a really good understanding of the procedure and in turn the industry. And now I kind of interact daily with people, giving them advice with regards to resources and the hair transplant process and what's involved.
Spencer is a real expert. He does writing for Man From Self and also other publications. So I will link everything about him and also some of the resources we talk about. But one of the articles actually that you wrote for me was about Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton, Formula One racer, and a bit of an overview and discussion with the has he or hasn't he had a transplant. I mean, there's no denying that this guy has gone from having very little hair to having a lot of hair. Firstly, why are we, I suppose, as men and as consumers and as guys that are clearly fussed about our hair, why do we care about this whole celebrity thing?
That's a really good question. Why do we care? I think because it possibly makes us feel better about ourselves that celebrities do lose their hair and they regain their hair. So there is you can identify with that, and the fact that they, I suppose in this world that we live in, everyone has to be picture perfect, and we're always scrutinizing celebrities for whatever, whether they put weight on or what they're driving or where they live on. But I think their hair, they can't hide.
No.
Okay? They can't hide it. And it's a big, hair is part of your identity, is part of your image. And as we know, celebrities are all about the image. So I think why are we so interested in celebrities is because we are fascinated as a culture by celebrities, and their hair is a big part of who they are and their identity and their image, and we just want to know about the potential of what have they had done, where have they had it done, how have they had it done, to make us potentially understand if there's options available to us, you know?
It's interesting because we almost use celebrity as, like Lewis Hamilton especially, and I suppose Wayne Rooney, as the poster boys for these sort of transplants and for the options that are open to us. Now, when we talk about has he or hasn't he had a transplant, he's not openly said he has or he hasn't?
Not to my knowledge, Lewis Hamilton has not publicly come out that he's had a hair transplant. So it's all open to speculation. Yeah. I think from my personal point of view, being heavily involved with...
having years of experience working with hair transplant specialists and also clinics.
Yeah, that I personally feel he's definitely done something to better himself with regards to his hair.
It's a very safe answer, I should say. Yeah.
If I had to really hazard a guess, I would say, yeah, he has potentially had a hair transplant, a very good one.
Okay.
There is no disputing the fact, with all the pictures that were out there when he took his hat off. It's a real telltale sign when celebrities are constantly wearing hats. And then, he wore a hat, it's part of him, it's part of his image, or it was.
And sponsorship deals, obviously.
Yeah, but now where are the hats?
No.
Yeah, there's no hats to be seen. Or when he gets papped. He's always got this, great, thick, full head of hair now because he's proud of it. So it kind of begs the question from an insider's point of view as to something's definitely changed with regards to his hair. Now, I personally feel he's potentially probably had a very good hair transplant. He's probably got onto proven treatments that we discussed in the previous videos, and it's enabled him to sport a very good head of hair. I honestly don't think it's a wig or a system. I really don't. I think he had the means to do it. He had what appeared to be a great candidate. He had a great donor supply. His loss was relatively small.
Can I ask you on that, sorry to interrupt, when you say candidate and donor supply, candidate is quite literally his scalp?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When you say candidate, a good eligible candidate, he has, for want of a better word, supply that can meet the demand. So the supply meets the demand on top.
Okay.
And he was clearly showing signs of early male pattern baldness. Now he's young, okay? But he's got a great shaped head. So he could have shaved all his hair off and dealt with it and still look cool. It's Lewis Hamilton,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Doesn't really matter what he did, he was still going to be cool. But it obviously mattered to him, clearly, to do something about his hair. So undoubtedly, he has done something. I think it's a combination of factors, and all power to him. Now, whether he comes out publicly about it, I don't think he needs to now. There's always going to be speculation over him and, further celebrities. And, there's countless celebrities out there like Lewis that have gone well under the radar. Very few, unfortunately, come forward. Like Wayne Rooney was the ultimate spokesperson for hair transplantation. He actually changed the industry because he made it accessible and made it real and made people aware in huge numbers that something could be done.
It's really empowering to see that, isn't it?
Very much
You've
so.
got a guy who very publicly did it, and we saw various stages of that transplant.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like one day he was thinning or had no hair, and the next day it was like boom. We saw the
because
moments.
he was public and he was out about it, so everybody was watching him. I think if he'd have gone quiet under the radar, let's say like Lewis, no one was really watching it, And Wayne could have done. There are countless footballers that I'm privy to know that have had surgery that no one knows they've had it done.
Right,
so it can be done, but Wayne, well done to him for coming out and telling his story so openly. The problem with that on the Riverside is it's made the industry exponentially explode because now people are aware that something can be done. And so many different pop-up clinics, like we've discussed before, have opened up to try and capitalize on that because there's a huge market of men that want to have a hair transplant because they feel they can get it done because people like Wayne Rooney have made it possible and put it on people's radars.
It's interesting. I'm fascinated in that, you say there's footballers that have had transplants or we don't know about, and it's although they're very visible, it shows that you at home, if you are wanting to have a hair transplant and you've done all the research and you've looked at resources, which we will link everything down below, then there is an option to kind of do that, which I think is amazing to see someone having done that and be very successful in doing it.
Oh, certainly. I mean, the vast majority of people that have any type of surgery don't want anybody to really know about it. But hair loss is so visible, it's so public. And for a lot of people, it's their Achilles heel. People don't want to talk about it, period. But there really are options to be able to get this procedure done and for nobody to know about it. I'm not saying it's necessarily easy to do it. Me personally, my advice to anybody that's intending to get this done, I found it very liberating after living 10 years under a rock about it, of coming out and telling people, hey, I've had issues with hair loss, I've done this about it, was a huge weight off my shoulders, and I wish I'd done it sooner, because what was fascinating was the huge number of people that found it of interest and of personal interest that then opened up to me to talk about it when I thought I was the only person dealing with hair loss or dealing with the emotional aspects of hair loss. But it's a silent epidemic, and people are dealing with hair loss, and I think it's vital, and as you've relayed to your viewers, to open up and to talk about it, because in turn you will empower yourself and in turn protect yourself, because the industry is a dangerous place. So you can never have too much information or education on this topic.
It's definitely all about sharing sort of experiences, and be it bad stories or great stories about hair loss and any transplant. So I would say, if you guys have done any of this, or if any of this has sort of resonated with you, do comment down below. And I think this sort of open dialogue about all of this is so important. But thank you very much again for coming in.
No worries.
We've had so far 3 very solid videos, which I find fascinating, and I know that so many of you have too. So I will link Spencer's details down below in the description, and also all the resources we've spoken about, the Bald Truth radio show, the various forums, the IAHRS also down below. So you can find out and make sure that whatever you do, you're doing it right. But thank you again for watching. If you're new to my channel, you've not yet pressed subscribe, then please do press subscribe right now. The button will be just there. There's also more video suggestions down there. A link to the hair loss solutions pages. We've got articles by Spencer. We've got more about hair loss and thing, and also about products there. And then a link to the other videos that we've done up there. But I'll see you in my next new video. Bye-bye.